This is the new Accurascale Deltic, and it has been key to securing Accurascale's place in the model railway world. And this is the brand new version they've just released. It boasts improved performance and fixes a few of the issues the first model had in terms of running quality. Not that there were many to begin with, as well as on top of that, making use of some new styling changes and a few design changes to the chassis and to the outside of the body to make it an even better model than the first version was. And the first version, need I remind you, was indeed a multi-award winning, industry recognised, game-changing piece of kit. We have here with us today the latest version. Let's have a look at it. So Accurascale's Deltic first came out a good few years ago now, and since its initial release we've seen several other models come out from the manufacturer which have built on that initial groundwork laid down by, first of all, the Irish Model Railways A-Class. That was technically the first thing to come out of the Accurascale grouping, and then of course you have the Deltic, which was their first proper British outline locomotive. And when it did first come along, it brought with it a series of industry standards which had not really been seen before, but now when you look for them, they've been adapted by almost everyone and his dog. Things like magnetic roof hatches for access for fitting passengers. We now see this on a lot of locomotives. I know Cavalex have done the same thing on their locomotive. Bachmann and Hornby have still yet to adopt it, but if they know what they're doing, it's a central idea, and I think they really should. There's not really an excuse for making it difficult to fit a decoder these days. We've been doing DCC for long enough now, boys and girls. It shouldn't be a nightmare, and it shouldn't be a risking damaging your model activity. It should be plug and play, nice and simple, nice and easy. Doesn't need to be complicated, folks. We also have things like on-board stay lives. They've become a huge thing in the DCC market, and for me, having a stay alive is one of the main benefits of running DCC over DC. I know there are some ways on DC you can kind of make a stay alive, but it's not the same. It's not as easy and straightforward. And Accurascale went one step further when they released the Deltic by putting all that stuff in the model, on the model, ready to go. Now, when the model first came out, it was game changing, and it did change what the average model expected from releases from manufacturers, and they showed us that actually you can have super reliable running, a really heavy, well put together locomotive, and it can have DCC sound and it can stay alive on it and all the rest of these features without actually costing an arm and a leg. And I think when that came out, it made all the established bodies in the industry sort of sweat a little bit, because everyone went, well, why are you charging this much for this product when Accurascale have brought this model to market for 100 quid less? And there was the apologists all stepped forward and said, well, you must remember that every manufacturer has different overheads to meet and everything else. That's fine, okay, whatever, good. The matter point is, 100 quid is 100 quid, and £100 of anyone's money is worth saving. So Accurascale immediately helped with that. However, it wasn't completely smooth sailing when they released the initial first run of the Deltic. Now, the one I have here with me today is their latest updated version of the Deltic 2.0, if you will. And it's addressed some of the initial issues that the original Deltic had. I think one of the main ones was the bogey chains. They were too long. They would get tangled. They would drop off, get stuck in the mechanism. There was a few horror stories out there. And if you're so inclined, you can check out Google and go off and nosy about what they were. So Accurascale have readdressed how they did the chains, and they have made an executive decision not to fit them to the model as standard, but they have put them in the little accessories baggie that you get from the factory. Now, I haven't bothered to fit my bogey chains because I can live without bogey chains on my model, which I'm sitting 3 foot from. It's not ending the world that I don't have the chains on there. If I get bored, I might decide to fit the chains at some point in the future, but for me it's not a necessity, and I'd rather have them waiting and ready and the model just run rather than them being on there already and then we have to piss about, take them off and then potentially fucking do damage and everything else. So actually, yeah, I kind of like the fact that they've not put that in there to begin with, but it's there in case you want it. Iron Horse Railways is proudly sponsored by SAWYER Models of Lee. There you will find quality used and new rolling stock from all the major gauges all the way from Z to O gauge. They also carry an extensive selection of scenic items, including the WWS Scenic range, from static grasses all the way to grass tufts and all points in between. Of course, you can expect friendly service when you visit the store, but of course, if that's not your thing or you can't make it to the store, their website carries an extensive range of models and accessories from all the major scales. And thank you once again to SAWYER Models for being our sponsor. Another issue that a lot of people came across was the speaker, the Accura Thrash speakers. It's quite a big bassy thing, and a lot of people were reporting like humming or buzzing or fretting coming from the model. Some people said you can fix this by taking out the sugar cube speaker that's in there. I'm not sure if that would invalidate your warranty or not, to be honest with you, because it's fitted from the factory on all the models. But some people do it and it's fine, so whatever. What Accurascale have done this time round, they've acknowledged the fact that the sound was a little bit meh, so they've milled out the chassis now, and the Accura Thrash speaker sits nice and neatly in there. And from what I've seen and heard of the new versions, they really have improved it. Now apparently there's a lighting mod you can do to these things. Apparently the lights don't all come on properly or in the right order or whatever. Okay, fine. If you're one of the models out there that honestly can sit there and wants to use all 37 different lighting combinations, that's absolutely fine. Not really for me to do that. So yeah, there is. So the sound issue was addressed, fixed, and the bogey chain issue was addressed and fixed. That, coupled with the usual issues you're going to get with any release from any manufacturer, still made the Deltic an absolute game changer of a model. It really did. And now, well, look at it. You've got scale weight. The models that Accurascale release are, to be fair with you, if you've ever held one, pretty fucking heavy. There's no other way to get around it. I would call them close to scale weight, or as close to scale weight as is possible. And if you're thinking, well, that doesn't really matter because my Hornby Railroad has got traction tyres on it and that's fine and it can pull a train of 30 wagons, alright, fine. But if you look at how a locomotive goes down the track, a Model 1 in particular, and you look at a heavy one and a lightweight one, the heavier one, and I don't know how or why, maybe it's just a placebo, but to me, it looks like it's properly sat on the track, chugging away like a gun. So for me at least, knowing the local's got some genuine bollocks behind it, it does make it ride better and look better. And I don't know if I'm just talking out my arse on that one, but I don't know. It's nice knowing the weight's there. Now, Accurascale don't fit drivers to their locomotives, but of course we all know why that is. Because if you fit it at number one end, you're going to want half the modelers wanting to fit it at number two end. So whichever way you do it, you're going to piss someone off. But to be fair with you, the body does come off quite easily. You just sort of like put your fingers on the side, pull it and then shake it like this, and then out it comes. However, I did that, and me being me, I have to be honest with you folks, I did manage to damage some of the side frame detail there. There's like blue pipes that go along the sides. I've lost two of them. Didn't feel them spring off, didn't hear them spring off. I'm just very aware of the fact that they've now fucked off somewhere. Don't know where they are, but again, from the old 2 foot rule thing, it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure if I asked them really nicely, Accurascale would send me some anyway, or whatever, you know, little tiny things in it. But again, this just comes down to the nature of the beast, of what a modern model is. We want the detail. The little tiny bits are going to fall off, and that's part and parcel of it. Now, it just is. So I've been sprinkling running footage of the model in throughout this little blurb of mine. Hopefully there was a little bit at the start of this as well, which I need to record now actually, so that's weird. But you'll see from the pictures and images, it looks superb. The 2.0 has addressed all the issues that the first one had, and of course it still looks fantastic. These ones have the benefit of having the Accurascale Lifetime warranty of them as well, which is just a bit more belt and braces. Now, before you ask, Accurascale didn't send me this model. I bought this one from Great Eastern Model, so this is bought with my own cash, pound notes. So I'm not under the thumb or under the, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not under the requirement to leave a favourable review. This is just an honest review. It looks fantastic. Now, the one I got, it wasn't a sound fitted version. Yes, Accurascale do offer DCC ready and DCC sound fitted options from the factory, but the one I wanted didn't have, well, Great Eastern didn't happen to have a DCC sound fitted version at the time. So I've just got the DCC ready version. But what I have done is I've liberated a Hornby HM7000 TXS sound decoder, and I've put that in the Deltic for now. And I've also ordered the Acura Thrash speaker from Accurascale's website because I had some points left over, so it cost me like £8. And I've got the speaker clips as well. So I'm going to retrofit all the sound gear to this thing and the ASU decoder, and it'll sound like Stephen McCarran intended it to sound. Now, I must say that it wouldn't be fair to compare the TXS sound profile to what the proper sound profile would be, because one, it's only coming through a very small sugar cube speaker which is pre-fitted to the locomotive, and two, it is a budget sound profile, so it was made with cost in mind. So there are limitations to, like, the sounds just sound synthetic to me, whereas if you listen to a proper sound decoder making a proper sound profile, they sound a lot better, a lot more convincing. So there is that. I mean, I'm not saying it sounds shit, but it's just not. It just doesn't knock it as hard as the proper one does. And I've heard the proper one at Jen's house and at exhibitions and what have you. So I would say to you boys and girls, yes, you can upgrade the sound yourself if you want, and you can mess about taking small speakers out and replacing the Acura Thrash speaker and everything else. But for the most of you out there, for the 99% of you out there, don't bother. If you do DCC and you want the sound, just try and find a DCC sound fitted version if you can, and just save yourself the legwork, basically. Simple as that. Again, the only reason I did it is because I couldn't find the one I wanted with sound fitted already, so yeah, a bit annoying. But again, like I've just said, it's easy enough to retrofit the speaker and the decoder yourself anyway, because you just lift off the hatch, or you just pull the body off and away you go. Nice and simple. Now, would I recommend you buy one? Well, yeah, of course I would. Why wouldn't I? It's an Accurascale Deltic. It's arguably the definitive king of the Deltics on the market today. I know Hornby have got their DP1 coming out eventually, but that is a 00 thing, and it's limited edition, and it's made from die-cast metal, and it costs £1 million. And good luck to you being able to find one. And the existing Batman DP1 is almost as expensive as the new one for some reason, and is really odd tooling now. I don't know if I buy one of those brand new. The Hornby Railroad, and of course the Lima Deltics that are on the market second hand. Yes, they are cheap, but they are cheap for a reason. For me, again, I will just leave them and go for the proper, the big boy version, if you will. Now, as always, people, I want you to have a chat in the comments and let me know what you think of your Accurascale Deltic. Now, I know that some people out there don't like Accurascale and have got their own little ways and vendettas and things like that. That's fine. Please don't start throwing shade in the comments, because I'm just going to delete them. Simple as that. And with that said, if you have enjoyed the video and everything else, do give it a like and a share, and then the comment and all the rest of that jizzle jazzle. And I'll see you all next week, boys and girls. Now, you take care, be safe, bye bye, and I'm off for a pint. Take care, bye bye.